What's up, y'all? So, a couple days ago, this Twitter thread came out that was like, let's talk about the weird facts about the Star Wars universe. And honestly, ever since I've read that thread, I've been deep into the Star Wars lore. I mean, I already was, but I kind of got, some more obscure facts. And I've been wanting to talk about it, so here we go. The Clone Army was only about 1/4 of the size of the United States Army during World War II. That's right. The whole army, the army that spanned across multiple planets in the galaxy, was only 1/4 of the size. The reason Anakin asked Padme if she was an angel when they met is because angels are a specific kind of alien in the Star Wars universe. Chewbacca knows Yoda, which is like, I know it's kind of like a retcon because it came in the prequels, but it's kind of weird that they never really talk about this at all. It's kind of weird that neither of them ever mention to Luke that they know each other. The Sith are a race, they're a cultural institution, and 99% of Sith are fallen Jedis. It has an ancient order whose history extends over millennia in the galaxy, and in current day, almost nobody believes they exist. There was a Force-sensitive droid called Skippy the Jedi Droid that killed itself so Luke would pick R2-D2 instead of him. It's been retconned that the reason the Jedi had lack of foresight in the prequels was because the Jedi Temple on Coruscant was actually built on top of a Sith Temple, which was built on top of a Jedi Temple, on top of a Sith Temple, over and over. Basically a Russian nesting doll of Jedi and Sith temples all on top of each other. In one of his final arcs in the Clone Wars, Yoda goes on a mission and has a vision of Order 66 and the fall of the Republic. So in Revenge of the Sith, he is canonically allowing the fall of the Jedi to happen. The stormtrooper that gets his armor stolen by Luke in A New Hope is canonically gay and was in a relationship with Grand Moff Tarkin. A lot of the issues with Darth Vader's armor were due to Empire budgetary restrictions. And yes, I'm referring to the Empire that built 2 Death Stars. Obi-Wan Kenobi is actually not a strong Force user at all. In fact, he almost failed his Jedi trials because he was so weak in the Force. It's kind of crazy to think about when you consider the fact that he trained the most powerful Force user ever and bested him in combat at least twice. In the comics, Luke Skywalker has a clone called Luke Skywalker. In one of the comic books, after Return of the Jedi, Han Solo miscalculates a space jump and crash lands on Earth and dies. And then Indiana Jones finds him 130 some odd years later, and Indy thought he looked familiar. And in this story, Chewbacca becomes the Sasquatch legend. Palpatine purposefully disfigures Snoke to appear non-human so no one would think he's a clone of the Emperor based on the fact that he was human. That's canon, but it kind of doesn't make sense because in the Star Wars universe, there is literally trillions upon trillions of humans. Nobody would see a human and be like, oh, he must be the Emperor's clone. I'm pretty sure 95% of the Star Wars universe doesn't even know what Emperor Palpatine even looks like, so it wouldn't make sense. The reason that the escape pods that C-3PO and R2-D2 escaped in A New Hope weren't shot down was because the Imperial officer could not be bothered to fill out the paperwork. The fact that C-3PO and R2-D2 basically know the entire Skywalker lineage and just never say anything to anybody, ever. The tentacle monster that's in the Death Star trash compactor in A New Hope is actually a sentient, Force-sensitive species, and when it pulled Luke under the water, it was not trying to kill or eat him. It was a baptism ritual to bring him closer to death and strengthen his connection with the Force. I looked it up. That is true. Ducks are a canon animal in the Star Wars universe due to one of the people in this prequel saying, we'll all be sitting ducks. Also, a falcon is, because that's what they named the Millennium Falcon. In one episode of the 2D animated Clone Wars show, there is a Jedi called Sha'a-Gi, who's basically just Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and he's voiced by Bender from Futurama. As far as we know, Yoda is the only one of his species that ever talks like that. Obviously, we never heard Grogu talk, but there is another Jedi called Yaddle, who is Yoda's species, and she talked normal, and Yoda apparently talks like that to honor his old master. It's not actually midichlorians that give Jedi a connection to the Force. They just communicate with wills, a second and distinct species of single-celled life that actually gives you the Force. Darth Vader made C-3PO and they basically never interact after The Phantom Menace. Sometime after Return of the Jedi, Luke goes back to Hoth with his girlfriend. A Jedi Ghost from the High Republic who is possessing the body of one of his students and has a rematch with the Wampa. The droid IG-88 actually uploaded himself into the second Death Star and was poised to start a droid rebellion, but then the second Death Star got blown up, so yeah, that's all the ones I got for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something new about Star Wars if you're into that. I might make this a series with other franchises that I'm into. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the description. Peace.